That boy's music is fuego. 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 Dylan got it bumping. Dylan got it bumping.
BeatStars.com. 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 BeatStars.com.
Fury Beats. I'm feeling this.
I just couldn't realize what it I just couldn't realize what it I just couldn't realize what it
Fury Beats. I'm feeling this.
I just couldn't I just couldn't realize
Fury Beats. I'm feeling this.
what it I just couldn't realize 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 what it
Ayo Muff, you going up. 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 Ayo Muff, you going up.
Hey, Ritik, that's the dope. Hey, Ritik, that's the dope. Hey, Ritik, that's the dope.
BeatStars.com. 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 BeatStars.com.
There I am. What's good, everybody? What's up? It's your boy DJ Fanatic Beats at BeatStars. Welcome to today's show, Sunday Sounds. It's always, am I live? Yeah. It's always so dope to have be a part of the community and also do these shows. And it's always awesome to see familiar names and faces, and also a lot of new producers as well. So all the people that's new, you know what I'm saying, welcome to the show. All the familiar producers I see, thank y'all for the support, man. It's awesome to do these. And, you know, it's always cool to bring a face to the music and also to kind of get to know the producer outside of all the music. You know what I mean? So, you know, we're all human beings like everybody here, but it's always so dope to like tap in and you get to know producers as a human being outside of the music. You know what I mean? So thought it'd be so awesome to have our guest here on the show. Um, and before I forget, shout out to the whole BeatStars family, to the whole community. Shout out to Abe, everybody. Yeah, this is gonna be a dope show. So I'm really excited to bring our guests on the show. It's your boy Bear. Let me bring you in here, man. Make sure you're good. And what's up, man? How you doing?
Fanatic, what's good, bro?
Hey, man, I'm blessed, man. I like
Oh
that
man,
hat you got back there.
oh man, a little something there, huh? A little something.
Yeah, man. Well, welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you on as our guest today.
I
How's your
appreciate you
week
having
going,
me,
man? Yeah, for sure.
man. Let me tell you, uh, it's one of those things where when you finally make a decision in life, your opponent will show up, and the opponent showed up, and everything was trying to work against me to not get here today, but I have no quit in me, so I just kept pushing, man. So it's just a blessing to be here today.
Yeah, man. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear. Yeah. I see some people like your studio vibe, so or is that mine? I don't know who said that, but yeah. Thanks, man.
Nah,
Appreciate
I'm feeling yours. I need that desk and that monitor.
it. Yeah, man. It's been a long time coming, so you know, just basically one step at a time, you know,
Yes,
working,
sir.
saving, investing.
Right,
So
absolutely. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So let's start here, man. Not a lot of people know who you are. Um, you know, um actually, I think you had a different name on the playlist you sent me. Are you changing your producer name? Cuz I want to make sure I said your
Well,
producer name right.
no, the producer name is correct. The name that's on the playlist is actually the name of my audio entertainment company, Sonic Vocabulary. I actually also DJ, and that's the company I DJ under. That's the one I created. And so when I started thinking about doing beats and different things, I figured instead of having all of these individual entities, make one big umbrella of Sonic Vocabulary, and that everything I do musically, it goes underneath that umbrella. That way it's easier when people say, oh, what are you, where can I find you? Sonic Vocabulary. And then from there,
Okay.
you can find everything else.
Got you, got you. Cool, man, cuz I was a little worried. I was like, I don't want to like say the wrong producer name, when he
No,
goes
not at
by.
all.
Okay.
Not at all. You got it right, man. Absolutely.
Cool, cool. So let's and it's dope to always interview another fellow DJ. So we're both,
Yeah.
experienced in that regard. Let's talk about how you get started in music, just in general. Like how did you gravitate to music, or what's your journey?
To be perfectly honest, I really didn't have a choice in the matter. I grew up in music. My father went to a musical conservatory. He's a bass player, multi-instrumentalist actually. And I was raised on music. Every morning, my father would be sitting downstairs with his record player playing George Duke, Stanley Clarke, Troop, things like that. And he'd have his bass out and he'd be jamming along to the music. And I would just sit next to him and just watch him jam out. So from a very, very young age, I was introduced to music. Of course, him being also a church musician, I grew up in the church. I played drums in the church. I now play keys, drums, and organ in the church. Of course, not at the same time. But so music has always been a part of my life, like forever. And that's, believe it or not, it's been, if I think back now, I'm probably 20 years into this, if not more, in terms of how long I've been fiddling around with the idea of making music a career. My father bought me this old music program called DJAY. And it was a beat program where you would it was pre-made sample loops, and you could create a song by dragging loops onto the timeline and making a song. You couldn't enter any of your own. It was just all loops. And that was my introduction to making beats, was grabbing these pre-made loops. And I'm like, all right, I know this is the loop, but I want to add this sound here. And I was making beats, and then I found GarageBand and became a GarageBand beat maker. And I mean, it's been a journey, bro.
Wow, I never even heard of that software.
Man, and
DJ.
when I have a screenshot on my cell phone I keep just as a reminder of where I was. It was called not virtual DJ, but DJ, and it had this tag. It would always come in, hip hop jam, gangsta slam. It was the weirdest thing ever. But I'm not. Hey, real talk, man. Humble beginnings, really. Humble beginnings, but it would always come in with that. That was the intro, and
that's hilarious.
It's been something for real.
Wow. And you said it so well. And the way you said it, like the tag, it shows that you were making a lot of beats on it because it's stuck in your head.
Oh, it'll never ever go away, man. Ever. Like that was the first thing I heard, because I was like, I'm not a lyricist. I've never written. I mean, I was probably 10, maybe. No, I was about 15. I'll take that back. I was about 15 or 16 when I first started. And I was like, I got to find words. And I was like, I had a little folder that said vocals. I tapped the folder and I clicked the very first one. Hip hop jam, gangsta slam. I said, oh yeah, that's it. I'm doing it now. And I dropped it in there, and that, man, I just from there, I really got bit, and like legitimately got bit for creating because I just love music that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Once you, well, it was in your family, you know, and you were around it
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah,
And that shows how your environment influences your journey, you know.
100%.
Because I kind of share the same similar story. What was the name of this? Who made the software? Do you remember the company?
Oh man, not off the top of my head. I'll link up with you when we get off because, like I said, I found it on YouTube. There is a clip on YouTube of this software, bro, and it'll make you fall out your chair laughing. But that was it,
Yeah,
man.
it's all good. I'll look it up. Yeah, you know this.
I
If
thought
you
that
want
was
to, you can send it.
I thought that was
Yeah.
the top of the charts, man. I thought that was everything back then.
And the other question I was going to ask was, did you you started producing before DJ? Is that
Oh
correct?
yeah, for sure, for
Okay.
sure. DJing came about. I want to say 6 years ago. I was at an event for a company that I work with, and the guy that was in the back of the room had to use the bathroom. He was the DJ. He was actually the sound guy. He's not a DJ, and he'll tell you that to himself if he saw you. And I kept seeing him like this, and
Yeah, rocking.
I'm like, there's no music on. What is this guy feeling? And so I just looked over and I said, what are you listening to? And he said, nothing. I got to use the bathroom. And I went, you want me to sit back there? And he goes, come back here. Not knowing that I did anything musical. He said, look, if something happens, this is the volume. Just push it up. Mind you, I've been doing audio visual with my father since I was 8 in church, installing, you name it. So I said, okay, no problem. The volume. All right, cool. So he goes to the bathroom. Not even 10 seconds after he walks out, a moment happens where they need music. I cut up the volume, and the music was not the song for the moment. And I was just kind of like, let me scroll through this catalog while he's gone. And I started, doing my thing. And before you know it, the end of the event, the facilitator of the event said, hey, look, we felt the shift in the room when you got back there. Is this something you'd be interested in? And of course, at that time, I still didn't want to be a DJ. I like music. I love audio. I was like, sure, I can do this once a month. No problem. Well, 6, 7 years later, I'm still doing it once a month. Matter of fact, I lie to you not. I just did it yesterday. I drove 5 hours to Maryland to do this event and came back to be here for this. So I just did the event yesterday for the month of November.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. It's a real passion, man. It's a real love, and it's worth it to me. You know what I mean?
And was it CDs that you
Uh,
were
believe
that
it
you
or
were trying
not,
to? No,
no.
so it was a laptop back then when you first started.
When I first started, yeah, it was a laptop, but it was, as a matter of fact, it's Apple's version of DJ Program. He had it on an iPad, so it
Okay.
was DJ Pro on an iPad with the 2 spinning turntables,
Yeah,
and
I've
it
seen
was
those. Yeah.
you know what I mean? And that's how I started. And I actually used that. I used that for 4 years, man. I went out and bought a Pioneer DJ Wego to control the iPad, and I DJ'd on a Wego for like 4 years.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That's an
Yeah,
awesome story. Yeah,
yeah.
I never knew you started DJing like that. It was kind of like an accident
It
almost.
was. It was a complete
Yeah.
accident, and it wasn't until I kept having people come up to me at the event saying, yo, we need you to DJ my party. Would you be willing to DJ my mom's retirement celebration or my wedding? And I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
know
a
all about that.
DJ. And they're like, we just watched you do this for 3 hours. You're a DJ. And I'm like, all right, cool. And so I was like, all right, I guess I'll go all in and do this.
Yeah, awesome story, man. Awesome story. I don't believe that was an accident, you know.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
it was
true.
deliberate. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome, man. Yeah. I'm trying to think of how oh yeah, I remember how I started.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about you. It's similar to that. Yeah, very similar to that. So let's Yeah, you want to get into some of the songs that you prepared for us?
Yeah,
Let's get
man,
into
sure.
some of
That's
those.
yeah, I'm with that.
And actually, I think I have an announcement to make before we get into some music. What's good, everybody? Make sure you put in the comments where you're from, where you're tuning in from, and whatever country or city. I'm always curious where everybody's tuning in from. Looks like I don't have any announcements. Nope. All right, cool. So let's got your link here. Fanatic Acceleration. Check you out, man.
Yeah, man.
Let me share the screen so y'all can see what I'm looking at. There we go. Cool. All right, we got Sweden in the house. We got Arkansas,
Wow.
Austria. Wow. Delaware in the house. Pennsylvania. Exton. I never heard of that city. Delaware
Never
has
heard
some
of
nice
that.
homes on the shore. Austin in the house. That's BeatStars capital right there, bro.
Yeah.
Stockholm. Wow, a lot of people from Sweden. Sweden repping today. Well,
That's
thank y'all
crazy.
for
Yeah,
joining us. I don't
man.
even know what time is it there.
Right.
I don't even know what time it is there. Y'all tuned in. Cool, man. Love. So yeah, let's okay. So was there any particular you know what I'm gonna do before I get into the music? I'm gonna follow your playlist and share it here in the comments for those that want to tune in later and just listening to it again at your leisure. Here's access to all that is posted. I'll just put that in the comment for you. There we go. And let me make sure I am following you. So I'm just going to click on your name and follow you and go back. It should go back page. There we go. Is it still showing on the screen? Looks like it.
Yep. Still seeing it.
Cool. Yeah, I don't even know where that's from. Is that a country? Oh, wow,
Excellent.
I don't know where that's from.
Yeah,
All right. So was there any?
I'm over here thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it just in case if it's like a
Right.
curse word in the language. So.
Yeah.
Y'all trying to get me, man.
Set up.
Yeah. I'm not sleeping. All right. So was there any particular order you want to just go from top to bottom, or what do you want to do?
We can go in order, but I put Fanatic Acceleration at the top for a reason, and it's named that for a reason, man. You personally forced me to put my foot on the gas. You know what I mean? Like I have been. Let me just a quick backstory makes it because I think I feel like it only makes sense. Like I said, I've been doing this for quite a few years, but I've only been doing it for me. Like I graduated from Omega Studios in Rockville with audio engineering. As a matter of fact, that's where I met you at the BeatStars. I met you there a couple of times, as well as Cato's Past the Ox. Amazing event. But I always dreamt of being a producer, but call it fear, call it laziness, call it apprehension, call it whatever you want. I just never put myself out there. And I think what happened over the years of wanting to do this so long, as a matter of fact, I'm reading this book, The Alchemist. And there's a quick story in there. The guy owns a china shop. Young boy who's on a journey walks in the shop, and the man says, he asked the man, "Have you always wanted to do this?" The man said, "Absolutely not. I've always had a dream to go to Mecca. That's my dream." And the boy says, "Well, surely you have enough to get there. Why haven't you gone?" And he said, "Over the years, I've dreamt this grandiose vision in my head so much that I'm afraid now to go there and be let down by what I've constructed in my mind." And I think I did that to myself musically, where I had this grandiose vision of what I could do musically. And the vision was so grand in my head, it was fear of putting myself out there to start this, only to have it not meet what was in my head. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Basically you constructed, I wouldn't say a false reality, but it's like a picture where you see a destination and it's almost similar to analysis paralysis, where
Absolutely.
like, yeah, you analyze everything to the perfect detail
Yep.
where you don't move.
Yeah,
You know?
that's exactly what it ended up being. And so for years, I have basically been just burning the rubber on my tires, foot on the gas, but my other foot is heavy on the brake and the e-brake is up because I'm like, I'm ready to go, but I'm not going to go. And then you approached me, in which, you know, like I said, you're my guy. Ever since the day I met you at the BeatStars event and we talked for 15 minutes before it started, you approached me with an opportunity, and I said, all this time spinning these wheels, I've built this up so long, I never even loaded the trunk with the stuff I needed to take on the trip. And so now I have an opportunity and I'm not ready for my trip. I was like, that won't work. So the first beat is called Phonetic Acceleration, because by your approaching me, I had to put my foot on the gas, man. It's time to go. And I'm like, this is the start, the catalyst of what I needed to like let go of fear and doubt and, you know, the unknown, and just put myself out there, man. This is what I love to do. It's just like DJing. I didn't really want to do that, but the more I've realized how much I loved it and the more I put myself out there, the more it became like what it is now for me to go DJ. It's whatever, drop of a dime. And so that's why I titled the first beat, long story, Phonetic Acceleration. So it's all thanks to you. That wasn't an accident.
Means a lot, bro. Means more than you know. It's always awesome to inspire others, and I'm glad you let go of that break. You know what I'm saying? That way
I
you can
had
move
to.
forward.
I had to, bro.
Yeah, man, you wouldn't be here if you didn't let go of that break. You know what I mean? So
For sure.
for all those, yeah, and everyone here can relate to that. You know, there's so many people that, you know, I'm gonna keep using your analogy, you know, have the brake slam down to the floor and the gas on the floor. You're not going anywhere, but it's just tension, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so anyway, you gotta let go of that break, you know, whether you're DJing or making beats or you want to try another business venture or, you know, anything. You know, you can't be stagnant. You know, it's natural for us to evolve.
100%.
So let's yeah, man. And you dedicated after, hey man, I feel honored, bro. All right, this is Phonetic Acceleration, and this is we got It's Your Boy Bear on Sunday Sounds, and this is his account is Sonic Vocabulary. So check it out.
BeatStars.com. 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 BeatStars.com.
My bad. I got caught in the vibe, man. It just kept playing. Yeah, let me. I think you muted yourself. I can. Oh no,
Yeah.
you're good. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That you've been watching my shows. You know to mute
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. I got to. Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I was vibing with that, man. Like, some people said, the switch up is dope. I like
I
how.
appreciate that.
Yeah. You're welcome. Ace Hood is a good one. I was looking at your tags as well.
Yeah. It's so funny because and I listen to trap. Like I'm very big on Rick Ross. I'm very big on Ace Hood in terms of like your trap music. But like in terms of making it, I've never been comfortable making trap. Like real talk. I've always been more of a soulful, again, being a church musician, gospel, like worship music, things like that. So this forced me out of my realm of comfort. I'm used to doing like lo-fi, those kind of things, boom bap. But I was like, I'm gonna try my hand at some trap stuff and see if I got what it takes to make trap. And that was like my first attempt at really trying it.
Yeah, it was dope, man. It came out really good. What's cool? I like the brass element too. How you did those chords with that type of rhythm.
Right.
I like
Yeah.
that.
It felt real epic to me, real strong. You know what I mean? Kind of like a coming out moment. Like in my head, this is the dumbest thing ever, bro. But in my head, I visioned myself almost at like a parade. Like you finally began your journey. You're going off into this is your rite of passage. And as I'm walking out, the horns are playing that, like signifying you finally started this thing.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
got
what was
you.
in my head. Yeah.
And then you switched it up to like some R&B chords. Like
Yeah. I thought the alternate chords on that would kind of give it some breathing room and then bring it back to that real hard knock type vibe.
Yeah, definitely. It came out really dope, man. I like the contrast. You know who else I heard on there? Young Thug. I can hear him.
Yeah,
on there.
hey, I ain't mad at that at all.
He would have fun with that because of the elements, right? And you left space too.
Yeah.
It's important to all the producers out there to leave space for the artists, because they can hear the type of melodies they want to do with their voice and just kind of connect more with the track. You don't want to have too many things going on. So, and trust me, I suffered with that for years and still do. But
hey, you and me both. If you knew how many times I made some of these beats leading up to this to get them to a point, because believe it or not, I was sitting there with my little notebook that I had at the BeatStars events and at Cato's event, reading over my notes of what the critiques were and what the producers were saying and what Abe said when he came to DC. And I'm like, all right, no, that's not right. I gotta, if this is gonna be my coming out, I gotta make sure that I'm putting out a product that, you know, has the rules of the game really.
Yeah, it's awesome that you take notes too, man, because it's a lot of information, you know, and when you revisit notes, you're like, oh, they said that, and it's
Right.
different when you like reread it, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I remember he said that.
It hits you
know?
different that second time.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome, man. And you applied it. You know, taking notes is one thing. Some people don't do that, but actually applying it in your business and your music is another.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so.
That's a huge nugget, man. If y'all are listening, bro, what he just said has been my life's struggle. I read books like crazy, but it's the application of the knowledge. Like, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power.
There we go. That's the one I was looking for. There you go, right there. And you mentioned that you had some people tune in. Did you want to shout out anybody that's here supporting you or watching the show?
Yeah, I know my wife is watching. And this has been a week for her dealing with me getting ready for this. So thank you to you for being by my side. Shout out to the BeatStars fam, man, because y'all made all this possible. Shout out to my man Xavier, Humble Hustle in the Collective. Always doing something good in our community, man. Keeping us up, man. I shout out to you, keeping me right for this coming out party, I guess. So yeah, just shout out to y'all, man. Just thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. It's an honor and a pleasure, man. I'm glad you were able to be on the show. And also it's cool to, like, thank your supporters, man, especially, wifey and family, man.
For sure.
They here to support you, man.
Yeah.
What software you use to produce? Because you touched on it earlier.
Man, all right, so check this out. When I said earlier that it's like the whole world conspired to like not get me here, up until a week ago, I was using Studio 1.5 by PreSonus on my Mac Mini. My Mac Mini with all my beats shut down. Out of nowhere, just shut down. Right now, today, everything you guys are listening to is on Beatmaker 3 on my iPad, 10.2, 2019. I am not kidding. I am now an iPad producer.
Wait.
Beatmaker 3 on my 2019 iPad. I lie to you not, bro.
Beatmaker 3.
Yeah.
Huh. Even Studio 1.5. Was that like a version after Studio 1?
Yeah, well, they each version they drop. It's like I started on Studio 1.4. And then they came out with Studio 1.5 and they gave me a lateral, like an upgrade. So I started using PreSonus Studio 1.5. It's just a version, but it's still Studio 1. Yeah. But I was using Studio 1, and then just out of nowhere, my computer started the pinwheel of death, and it was just like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I panicked, and I jumped on YouTube, and I'm like, how to fix computer fast? No, that's not working. And I just happened to see a video by Henny the Business, and he does everything on an iPad. And I was like, well, I've got an iPad. Like, I got to do something. And so literally, Bolo the producer and Henny the Business, I did like a 5 or 6 hour deep dive on their videos, bought the program, put it on my iPad, connected my MIDI keyboard, and got to work.
Hey, there you go. You made it happen.
Yeah.
I think I heard of Beatmaker a long time ago, but I wasn't really familiar with the software.
Right.
But it doesn't matter what software you use. Like at the end of the day, it sounds a certain way, makes you feel a certain way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, that's where the community gets it twisted sometimes, because everyone's like, you got the fanciest. You saw my new keyboard. You see that?
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
And they're like, you need that to make good music. You don't need that.
No, not at all.
All you need is your imagination.
Yeah.
you know, and your natural talent. So sometimes people feel like they need the most expensive things to make something beautiful or
Yeah.
make something slapping or whatever term
Nope.
you want to use. So it's the producer that makes the music,
Yeah.
not the hardware.
Everything you hear, everything you hear today is Beatmaker 3, an iPad, and a 25 key Akai MPK Mini. That's it.
Hey, that's what's up, man.
That's
That's what's
it.
up. I was gonna get one of those too, but for like IG videos because it's mobile.
And
When I was traveling.
that's actually what I
Yeah.
bought it for a long time ago. And I had never really used it because man, if I flip this camera around, there's so many keyboards in this room, it's stupid. Sorry, honey. I know you're shaking your head agreeing. But yeah, I said I gotta do something that's mobile. I gotta be able to move. And so just this little MPK, and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work because I got rather large hands and that's a rather small board.
Yeah,
But
right.
I'm gonna make the best of it, man. I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah. Hey, you did, man. Yeah, let's get into some more music.
Yep.
Where are we at? There we go. You want to play the next one? It's Checked In. Yeah. You want to play that one? I think you muted yourself, so yeah, we can jump into
Yeah, we
that
can go
one.
with that. Yeah,
Do you
check
have
in.
like an intro or anything, or you want me to just
Again, all of these songs have stories to them. Checked In was the vision I had in my head of what I originally thought when I thought of music, being able to create music, meet people, travel the world doing music. And Checked In is like that, you pull up to your spot, the event, and you're checking in, and how the movie where the cool guy always walks in, the door blows open, and like some real smooth stuff is playing. Like that was in my head, like, okay, now that I've started, I'm at this event, I'm getting ready to present. I need some entrance music. Let's get checked. Let's get checked in. It's my imagination, man. This is how I think, bro.
No, yeah, it's very visual. That's awesome, man. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
check it out. This is Checked In with It's Your Boy Bear at Sunday Sounds. Check it out. Let me pull it back.
BeatStars.com. 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 BeatStars.com.
Dope. 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 Yeah, that main melody is crazy.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, do you do like TV sync music at all? Do you do music for TV?
I haven't. I have not. I know of it. Haven't delved into it yet. As a matter of fact, I went to the event in DC with DJ Payne One and Song Trust, and that's when I actually had heard about it for the first time. They had an event, and they were talking about sync licensing and things that I knew about, but I didn't know. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I'm like, I didn't know like producers could produce for TV. I knew we can make beats and get artists, but I never knew about that until that event. But I've never actually tried it.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I was there. It's funny, I
Were
didn't see
you?
you there. Yeah, I was in the front.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
Music Entrepreneur Club. They had a
yep,
tour and they came
yep,
to DC that day. Yeah.
yep,
Yeah, shout out to Payne One. That was
yeah,
awesome. And Dame as well.
yeah, big time.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like, yeah, it's funny. We always end up with the same stuff.
Pretty
I didn't
much,
see you at the last Cato event though. I didn't see you there.
man. I moved to
The sound
Roanoke, man.
advice.
I'm 5 hours away now. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so planning goes a little differently for events now than it used to, but otherwise
Oh
I
yeah.
would have been there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, the reason why I asked, I was like, I can see that on TV film. So it's
Man,
something you really want to look into. It's
yeah.
another avenue for revenue for
Okay.
producers. You know, there's different ways to get into it, but it's just something to consider,
Okay.
that way you diversify,
Yeah,
your
man.
revenue.
I'm definitely open to it. Definitely open to it.
Because I can hear that easily on the show,
Man.
so it's licensable, it's quality for that platform.
Man.
Somebody had a question, a publishing question. Let me just address that. You can, for clarity on publishing with BeatStars, you can just send an email to support@beatstars.com. We'll be able to clarify whatever questions that you have if you're unsure. But yeah, send an email there. Somebody had a publishing question, and we do have publishing, which is awesome,
Yeah.
and distribution. So
Yeah.
if y'all have any questions with that, always send your questions to support@beatstars.com, so that way you get the correct information. And we're always
BeatStars taking
happy to
over.
help. Hey man, we're here for the community, man.
Hey,
Like
I said it 2 years ago. A Bastion for president.
yeah, man, it's innovative, and
Yeah,
it's
for
awesome
sure.
to be part of the squad that's pushing forward and helping the community gain revenue with what they love doing.
Definitely.
We're so into the creative side, but a lot of us forget about the business side, and there's a
Hmm.
lot of misinformation out there,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and it's unfortunate, but it's an avenue for you to learn as a
yeah,
a business person, a business entity.
yeah.
Um, so let's and there's another question somebody had. Let me just address that. Where can I send beats? This is Sunday Sounds. I think you're new to the show, but it's all good. This is where we showcase our upcoming producers. So we're showcasing It's Your Boy Bear's beats and music, and also we do have some other shows. Check out beatstars.world and go to the live at the top. You'll see the link to live, and you see the scheduled shows and the different shows that we have there. So check that out, so that way There's another show we do where you can submit beats live and for review. And there's Buy My Beats Friday that Abe usually does, and other guests. So yeah, check that out. BeatStars.world, and you'll see the other shows there where you can submit. This is Sunday Sounds, where we feature an upcoming producer. So just wanted to address that as well. Was there another one? You're more than welcome. You're very welcome. So, there's something else I was thinking listening to that beat, man. Oh, I Need Love. LL Cool
Yeah.
J.
Got the vibe, huh?
I can hear LL Cool J. I saw you put Rick Ross on it.
Yeah. That's how I was feeling for that one in my head. I just he got that real unique voice, that real low rasp,
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he'll sound dope on that. I can hear an R&B artist on it.
Yeah.
Male, mostly probably male artist. But yeah, dope melody, really nice, catchy melody, and it wasn't overdone. It was cool.
Man, I tried to keep that at the forefront of every beat that I made, actually, man, because of all the events that I go to, that's one of the things that when I hear critiques or heard critiques, that was something that you stressed, Kato stressed, Abe stressed. Like everyone always says, leave space in the beats. Like you want someone on it, but if they can't find a place for themselves to get into the beat, you're not going to get that beat out. It's just, you got to leave space for the artist.
Yeah, and it also connects with the sync music stuff, because what you're also doing when you do that, you're leaving space for dialogue. Like when people are talking and your music's in the background, but that main melody is over top.
Right.
So not a lot of people think about that. They're like, okay, they're artist focused, but that I can hear in that particular business. So yeah, man. Yeah, you hit two birds with one stone with that, man. So
grateful.
There's something else I was gonna ask you. It'll come back to me, man. So yeah, let's play another one.
So let's do IJCTTA next. And the backstory for that real fast was because I don't know Beatmaker 3, like I literally got the program 4 days ago. I had no clue what I was doing. This particular beat I erased 4 times on accident, trying to edit, because you're on an iPad, so I don't have a mouse controller for it yet, and so
I can't do that.
I can't either. So I'm gonna get a keyboard and a mouse real soon. So I'm tapping to like move things, and I was trying to arrange it, and I selected everything and did something, and everything disappeared. And I was like, where's the undo button? Yo, you gotta be kidding me. Did it again, got it arranged, thought I was saving it, did something, opened it back up. It was like the original melody only. So like 4 times in, that melody that you'll hear, it goes da 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 da. It was not in there. Of the previous 4 times, in my head, I was saying, I just can't take this anymore, which is what IJCTTA stands for. I just can't take this anymore. And I'm playing the beat loop. Listen, bro, it's funny. I'm playing the beat loop, and the beat is looping, and I'm trying to think of this melody, but all I can hear is, I just can't take this anymore. And the next thing I know, I'm singing, I just can't take this anymore. Next thing I know, I put it in, and I'm like, oh, that's a melody idea. So when you hear that high pitch, that's IJCTTA. I just can't take this anymore.
That's to be one of the best intros ever, man. You can't make this stuff up. And I noticed the tag you use is determined.
Yo, hey, man, exactly. You cannot mess this up. And that's you can't make it up, man.
All right, so this is IGCTTA. I just can't take this anymore. Check it out.
BeatStars.com. 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 BeatStars.com.
Just can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. All right. That is IJCTTA. I
Yeah,
just
man.
can't take this anymore.
Bro, I was
I
so
just
done
can't
with it.
take this anymore. I'm gonna share
That's
that in
it
the comments.
exactly, bro. That is it exactly.
Yeah, you know what you should do, man, is put some vocals on there, just auto tune it, whatever, just do like some scratch vocals. And then you have
Yeah.
two versions. You got one with the hook, and one with the instrumental. You
I
can
will
sell
take
both.
I will take that and do that. I will definitely take that because I have words for it. It stands for something. So I will
There
do
you
that.
go.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
For
And even
sure.
if you want your wife to do like some harmonies or something in the background,
Hey,
fun.
let's go. Let's go. I'm with it.
Have fun, man.
Yeah,
Creativity
man.
is limitless, man.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
you already have the melody, you already have the words, you got the notes. Just
Hey.
record it,
Yeah. Yeah.
have fun with that, make it a date night or something.
Yeah, I'm game. I'm game for that. For sure.
And somebody else mentioned, yeah, I'm sorry. I think you joined a little after what I said. Is this is Sunday Sounds, where we showcase upcoming producers. So we're showcasing It's Your Boy Bear, his music, and Sunday Sounds is about showing love to producers, on the platform, and also showing a little more about who they are. And it's not submit your beat type thing. So there's another show. Check out BeatStars.world for that other show. I think there's two other shows where we do that. So we have a couple shows where we just showcase beats all day. So so check those out. BeatStars.world. I think you came on right after I just mentioned that. So just wanted to address that for you. But yeah, that's cool, man. You mentioned earlier, you play the drums, play the
Mhm.
keys. Did you say organ as well, right?
Yep, yep.
Okay. Um, how being, a musician in church, how does that affect your music? Like, how does that impact your music?
Oh, it's everything. It's actually absolutely everything. It's the foundation for me, because when I was younger, like when I was playing the drums, like in my head, like I've been in marching band all my life, jazz band, show choir, you name it. I like all through school, every musical thing I could do, I did. But I was a drummer, so I didn't really need to know a whole lot other than, do I have rhythm? Can I hold the beat? And am I not being too flashy? And can I come down on the one? If I put something in there, can I hit that one and stay in it? But I was a pocket drummer for the longest time. And then my father-in-law is actually a bishop, my wife's father. And we were at the church, and I'm the AV tech at the church, and I was playing drums. And he says, I want to buy a piano, a keyboard. I said, oh, fantastic, sir. Great idea. He says, I want to get somebody in to play it. I said, even better idea, because you can't just have a keyboard and nobody play it. He says, well, I want you to play it. And
Here we go again.
I was
Similar
like,
to the DJ story.
right. I was like, well, I play the drums actually, so I can't really play both. And he says, well, I just a thought, just hear me out. And I said, all right. He said, start playing and learning the piano and the keyboard until we can find somebody to do it full time. And so, believe it or not, what I did was I started making beats and backing tracks of drums to play while I was on the piano. So I learned from YouTube. I got on YouTube and started learning music theory, like chord structures, majors, minors, diminished, suspended, augmented, all that stuff. And so it's actually been, again, long story to come around to your answer. Learning church music taught me chords, and like instead of just having a lot of one note melodies, which is not bad, it's a real popular thing to have, but church has been a foundation in teaching me how to play full size chords, being able to fill them up with both hands. And it's the foundation. Church music put me where I am musically, and without it, I wouldn't be where I'm at.
Yeah. Thanks for, breaking that down, because it's so important to treasure your instrument. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And you have two,
Yeah.
and you can
Thank God.
also create, like sound packs. You know what I'm saying? You can think about stuff like that
Yeah.
because not everyone is as skilled on chords and keys like that, and
Right.
drums for one.
Right.
You can do
Right.
some natural stuff with drums. You can even throw on tons of effects and make drums sound, whatever way you want,
Right.
and have
Right.
fun with that creative process.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, that's why I got that new big ass keyboard,
Man,
is
that thing is
because
beautiful.
thanks, man. Thank you. It actually matches the set really nice, and I
Yeah,
like
it does.
envisioned it. Um, yeah, and I'm blessed, man. And I wanted to just learn piano more and chords.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and just get busy with it,
Yep.
and get lost in it.
100%. I get that.
I set a timer because my wife and I got a family, so you
Yeah.
gotta have a timer where
Yeah, you got to have that
Yeah.
exit strap. You got to, man, because you can get lost in that. You can get lost
Oh,
in
yeah.
that real fast.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, man. I was gonna mention, you mentioned actually earlier, let me
Yeah.
share the screen, that your DJ company, let's get into some business stuff. Just kind of see where your head's at and what you're doing
Yeah.
here. Your DJ stuff is and your entertainment
Yeah.
company is Sonic
Mhm.
Vocabulary.
Yep.
Did you end up doing like a corporation for that yet? Or
LLC.
okay, you did an
Yep.
LLC.
Mhm.
And you want to share what that stands for like some of our viewers that don't know?
The Limited Liability Corporation. Yep.
Yeah, so it's a type of corporation.
Yeah.
Did you want to kind of elaborate why you chose to do that?
Here's the real answer. That's what I was told to do. Because again, me being a musician and an up and coming producer, for the longest time, all I cared about was the music and not the business. Like I don't do the business stuff. I do the music. And then through going to these meetups and these events that are put on by the BeatStars and the Catos, the music entrepreneur clubs, if you listen, they will give you the gems that you need. And one of the things that I kept hearing was, it's not enough to be able to make the music. If you don't know your business, you can be taken advantage of so swiftly and be left upside down and not have a leg to stand on, because they technically haven't done anything wrong to you in this situation. It's because you didn't do your diligence to know your business to protect yourself. And so when I was talking with other DJs and people that I know that have, event DJ and wedding DJ companies, and they were like, look, man, have you formed an LLC yet? And I'm like, no, I don't need nobody else, just me. I'm a DJ. And they're like, no, an LLC. And I'm like, and then somebody broke it down for me, and I was like, I need that. And they were like, it's protection, and it's probably smart to have, just to have. You know what I mean? You could go without it, but it's one of those things, like you said, it's just a protection to have in your back pocket for your business. And so I did it because it was told to me by a higher up DJ who's been doing it all his life. And he was like, he did it for years without one until he needed one, and then it was too late. And then he was like, I won't make that mistake again.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm glad you took that step and also received that information, you know, and applied it. Remember what we said earlier?
Man.
You talk to a wall,
Hey,
but
hey, all day long till you blue in the face.
yeah, and then shout out to Cato too.
Yeah,
You
man.
brought him up a few times, and he's doing awesome, man. I'm really proud of him. So,
Yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, man. So let's see. For everybody that's here live, feel free to drop some questions that you have. Whether it's business, whether it's software related, about his music background. We'll get into some questions. So feel free to drop some questions in there. Even if you want to ask me some stuff, I'll try my best to answer and give you my honest opinion. And just bring value to y'all, because that's what this is all about. And also, showcasing our guests. So last but not, we have one more beat, right?
Yeah, for sure. And this
So
is a complete opposite of everything else we've played today. This was actually made the same day as IJCTTA. This was the beat after it because I was worked up, man. And like, one thing I'm a firm believer of is music does control your emotion. Music can put you in a state of mind that if you're not careful, it can be bad. And I was already worked up, and I'm making trap and these heavy slapping beats, and I was frustrated and I was angry, and I was like, I don't want to make angry music. That's not my thing. I'm not an angry producer. Like, everything is like this real raw, like, just bang bang shoot 'em up stuff. Like, nah, that's not me. And so I said, I gotta pull back. I gotta draw back and go to what I'm more comfortable with. And so this next one is, like I said, it's complete opposite. It's called Fall Back, because that's what I literally had to tell myself to do in the moment. Like, yo, stop. Detach from the situation. You got the beat done. It's actually saved. It's actually uploaded. Stop. Fall back. And this was what came after I fell back.
another dope intro. Check it out. This is Fall Back on Sunday Sounds. It's your boy Bear.
BeatStars.com. 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 BeatStars.com.
There you have it. There you have it. Those brass wanted to play again. That's
Yeah.
it's your boy Bear on Sunday Sounds right here in BeatStars. We appreciate everybody joining us live and the comments and whatnot. Appreciate y'all. And I put the link to that entire Sunday Sounds playlist in the comments again for those that showed up after, so y'all can tune in and just listen to those again. And yeah, I was vibing with that, man. You said something in the intro that struck me. You said music can make you feel a certain way,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
was also thinking it can go either way. Like the
Yeah.
music,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, how you feel can create the type of music. Uh, you know, basically it goes back and forth, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's to your point. That's why that came out the way it did, is because I had to shift my personal state. I had to change where I was. I was upset. I deleted this beat. I'm like, new program, computer crash. Time crunch. Just breathe,
Right.
fall back for a minute. And when my attitude changed and I was able to just say, okay, let's move forward. My personal mood brought forth that. So very, very strong point.
And the beat before that, your personal mood brought that.
Hey, didn't it?
Just can't take it anymore. So that just shows, like, your two polarity, feelings that you're having into the music. And I know everybody can relate to that. Every producer can relate to that.
Yeah.
And before I forget, do you want to shout out how people can follow you and support you and link up with you and hear what you're doing and working on? You want to shout out like your handles?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at _ItsYaBoyBEAR. And BeatStars Sonic Vocabulary is where you'll find me. That's pretty much the two main places right now. If that grows, I'll definitely drop that in my bio or somewhere on my feed. But those are the two main spots right now.
And are you open to like collabs? Because I know a lot of producers like
to
reach out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like right now, like I got to reach out to some of the fellows that the J Reeds, Knockins, and the Caps, and the Marvelous Beats. We were supposed to link up a while ago, me and some of the fellas, man. So I'm getting ready to get ready to come around. Hopefully the train ain't too far. I got to try to catch up to these boys,
Yeah, man. Yeah, everybody's a different level. And shout out to them as well. I had them as guests on the show as well. So
absolutely.
Check those shows out. If you missed them, go to I know that it's on a playlist on YouTube. So go to BeatStars.
Yeah, I binge watched it heavy.
Yeah,
I binge watched it heavy, bro. Yeah.
Thanks for the support.
Entertainment, man. All of them, man. It was incredible. And it got me geared up and really inspired to be ready for this.
Awesome, man. I'm glad it inspired you, man. That's all. That means so much because that's why I do these shows,
Yeah.
Of course I'm BeatStars for life, but I also like to inspire people to go beyond where they believe they can go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we all tend to like stay small. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We're so much bigger than what's in here. We're
for
bigger
sure.
than that.
For sure.
We're massive. And but before I go on a tangent,
hey, go for it, man. You hitting on some stuff right now, man, because I have a mentor, and he lives by the saying, change your mindset, change your life. That's his entire MO. Change your mindset, change your life. And it's something that I have to tell myself daily, because you can get so caught up in like the technical stuff that you forget to have fun and enjoy what you're doing. You get so wrapped up or frustrated in what you don't know, or like this little stuff that if you were just to stop and shift your mindset in that moment and be present, like stop and be present in the moment, you'll realize how much you can change just by changing that mindset, like instantly. I'm like you now. Before I get on a tangent, but just go ahead, do you think?
No, you're talking my language, bro. I was gonna have a follow-up question to that. Before I forget that question, everyone that's here live, please drop your questions that you have for our guest today. Feel free to drop in the comments. I'm reading your comments, and I will highlight your question. If you have some questions about music, whatever, about his upbringing, his keys, playing different instruments, whatever. He mentioned he played in the marching band, which I didn't know.
Man.
But,
Drumline.
I was in marching band too, so I know all about that. Something I was going to ask you, what are some of your goals that you want to, let's keep it to 1 year. What do you want to accomplish, before the end of this year and for next year?
If I'm gonna be 100% honest, man, and just keep it real, I'm always a lofty goal setter. So my mind, 50 beats before the end of the year, sold. And now that I've heard you say it, getting into TV and sync licensing, because it's not something that I ever gave any real thought to, but it's something that I'd absolutely be open to and passionate about. So getting into TV and sync licensing before the end of the year, but within 12 months, I'm developing a YouTube channel as we speak, actually right now. So 1,000 followers on my YouTube channel. You know what I mean? It's a study channel, so it won't be necessarily like beats and tutorials unless that's something that people are interested in, and then I might shift the focus. But developing my YouTube channel, 50 beats sold, and TV and sync licensing for sure.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, 50 beats sold. That's a good goal.
Man, 50
That's a
beats
good goal.
sold. Like because I know the time frame, and again, that same mentor that said change your mindset, change your life always says if your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough.
There
And
you go.
like you said, we always play so small. Like, yeah, man, by the end of the year, maybe 10 beats. Like, really? 10 beats in the next 43 days. Like, that's all you want to do? Like, set the bar high. Set the bar high for who you have to become to reach those goals.
There you go. And this is like the biggest time of year for producers. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Black Friday, the holidays, this is online e-commerce is what we're doing. That's one of the highest grossing times of the year for producers to sell music. Hands down. Like historically, revenue is spent a lot more on beats this time of year. I'm trying to tell you. So get your coupon codes, your bulk deals, all that ready. Your advertisement, all that, stack it up, because this time of year is essential for selling. That's coming from my experience through the years. Just letting y'all know.
Hey, ears open.
November, basically Black Friday. Look at all these big companies. We don't have to name them. They survive off Black Friday. You know why what Black Friday means, right? You know what Black Friday means. Basically, when you're in the red, you're below. Basically, your expenses were higher than your revenue when you're in the red. Black Friday is when you're either even with your expenses or you made a profit because you sold everything that's been sitting on the shelf. Beats that you haven't sold and God knows when. And I have some that never sold. But when they start selling, you have some expenses. You bought equipment, you paid advertising, stuff like that. Basically, you're going into the black, and that's where Black Friday came from. That's a little history. That's a short version of it. See, I can talk forever. I can do a whole course.
I'm open to it, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving every second of this.
Let's we got a question here. He says SSPK Beats says SSD or HD?
SSD.
And not everybody knows what those are. You want to kind of give them a little more
solid state drive versus hard drive. I actually haven't had a lot of luck with just your average hard drive. So I switched to SSD maybe maybe 6 months ago. I grabbed an SSD because it just, especially with what I'm finding out even more recently with iOS products, regular hard drives, you need more external power and things to be able to run them with your if you were to do iOS, because they require so much power, where SSDs really don't as much. So I swapped to an SSD about 6 months ago.
Yeah, I have both. There's pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
The laptop I have right now that I'm on, I have a total of 3 terabytes. So
yeah, see.
I have a 1 terabyte SSD internal and 1 HD 2 terabyte.
Yeah.
So the HD I use mostly for storage.
Right.
The SSD I use for things that I need quickly. So I install like plugins and stuff on the SSD because it's a lot faster.
Right. And
Um,
that's exactly what I did. I got a 4 terabyte HD and then a 2 terabyte Lacy SSD hard drive.
okay, so you're doing 2 SSDs. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's something else I'm gonna say about HD. You tend to get cheaper for more storage
Big
because it's
time.
a older technology. But if you want storage and you just want to store like old beats or whatever, or any old documents, heavy video stuff, you know, I would recommend HD when you just want to store stuff. But if you want
100%.
to install stuff, SSD.
I looked out on my SSD. The 4 terabyte was $89 at Staples. I lie to you not.
Jeez.
It blew my mind. I walked by it and I said,
Was it
"Oh,
stolen?
they put the." I said they put this on the shelf just for me. I ain't no way I'm walking away from 4 terabytes for less than $100. I'm getting that, and I did.
Yeah, that's insane.
Right.
I never heard of
it. And it never happens.
$89 for 4 terabytes.
$89.99 for 4 terabytes.
Wow, I bet you they're never doing that sale again.
Probably not. Probably
Was
not.
it Black Friday?
No. It was literally 2 months ago.
Oh,
2 months ago because I needed the hard drive.
Yeah, towards the end of the year. So what happens towards the end of the year? A lot of companies need to get rid of product. You know, and manufacturers need to get rid of product. So especially hardware, anything solid, you know, like a microphone, a cell phone, whatever.
It's got to go.
Yeah. And it's different now too during COVID because there's a lot of shortage for electronics, like components, capacitors, resistors, and stuff like that. I research all this stuff, you know, because it's important to know what's going on in the world, you know, that you're working in. So feel free to drop some more questions before we hang up here. Be open to whatever questions you have for our guests. Something I was going to ask you, what was that time where, like, what kind of advice can you give a producer that's just starting out? Like what comes to mind to I guess inspire them to try to get into music and do this online thing?
Man, first thing, take your foot off the brake. Take your foot off the brake because you're not gonna go anywhere. Like that's the biggest piece of advice. Like I said, I'm speaking from personal experience. It doesn't matter if you've got a hard drive, 2 hard drives, 4 terabytes worth of beats. You're sitting on them. They're not making you anything. And I won't say I don't know anybody who just makes beats for fun, because I think at some point we all do. But this is a business. We're trying to make a living. We have families, some of us. Some of us want that opulent lifestyle, first class tickets and foreign whips and things like that. But you're not going to get it with a dusty hard drive with just, man, I made a beat a day for 6 years. That's nice. Where are they? What are you doing with them? So biggest piece of advice, take your foot off the brake. Second piece of advice, lean into the adversity because it's coming. The second you make the decision, the opponent will show up. Listen, before Fanatic reached out to me a week ago, I was in here on my computer. Everything was fine. I had all these beats, all these ideas. The second he reached out and was like, would you be interested? Bet. My computer. The second I made a decision to do something, the opponent showed up. So lean into it. Don't draw back. Don't pull back. Apply pressure because it's worth it. Because when I tell you just this right here is so inspirational even to me in this moment, because I always saw these type of things happening in my mind, but I was pulling back from the idea of what if, or what if they play my beats and all the comments that pop up say trash, no, try again, that ain't it, bro. And instead of doing that, I leaned in this time. I said, if that's what it's going to be, that's what it's going to be. Payne says it all the time. You're going to make trash beats. It's a part of it. expect for it to happen. So don't pull back. Lean into the adversity, man. Apply pressure and get going now. Start now. You start now.
There we go, man. There we go. Well said. Well said. It reminds me what you're saying is basically Murphy's Law.
Man.
So if y'all don't know what Murphy's Law, just Google it. Basically, you will be faced with opposition when you decide to move forward.
Mhm.
And what that opposition is, it's to test you. See, now y'all, now I'm gonna give y'all some gems. So that opposition, basically, it's kind of like a train moving really fast and it smashes into a wall, right? Nobody's in it, nobody's hurt. It's an empty train. We'll say that. And that wall is Murphy's Law. It's like, you want to move forward? We'll see if you move forward when you hit this wall. So somehow, we'll just say magically, that train decides to go through the wall, right? It turned into some transparent ghost, I don't know, whatever, and it went right through it because it didn't see the wall as opposition. So Murphy's Law will be constantly to test you when you decide to move forward with your business, with your music. You want to try a new creative aspect as far as a different genre, and then everyone knows you for trap soul beats, that you'll face opposition. When you decide to start a corporation with your music and you figure out you got to pay all these damn taxes, there's opposition. When you decide to get on camera and everyone says your music sucks, there's opposition. So, but you still end up moving forward. And speaking on that topic, music is subjective, so subjective. You guys can watch this and gals can watch this later, a week later, be like, yo, these beats I was sleeping on them. Like, beats hit you differently, in a different day or different time, because it's so fluid,
So true.
And I watched some of my old shows and I'm like, I actually slept on that beat, and I re-listen. And that goes with songs too, like artists and stuff. So it's so fluid and so subjective, and you can't let somebody else's opinion define your destination or what you want to do with your music. So yeah, man, thank you for sharing that inspirational advice for up and coming producers. What was one of your biggest challenges? Just, other than your your software and your hardware just giving you tremendous Murphy Law opposition.
Hey,
what was it?
So many growth opportunities this week. My biggest opposition is for me was really letting go. One of my biggest struggles was the belief, self-belief in myself. Because I started several beats and trashed them intentionally. I don't know. They could have been way better than what we listen to today. These might not even be great, but I erased them because the belief wasn't there. I was trying to fit into this mold of, well, what's on the top 10 right now? What does that number one beat sound like? Let me make something like that. And then I said, no, that's not who I am. Like, you have to believe enough in who you are and what you're good at and what your intention is to go forward and do it. Like, you can't sit back and pigeonhole yourself, because of self-doubt. And so that was one of my biggest oppositions, was the belief. And then timing. Time is the most precious thing we have. And sometimes there's just not enough of it. You know what I mean? I own, and this, I'm not, bragging. It's what it is. I own multiple businesses. I own a brick and mortar business here in Roanoke, Virginia. Is actually the only reason I left Maryland was to come here and open this business. So I own this business. I have a side job because while you're waiting for your business to be profitable, you still got to feed your family. So I've got a 9-to-5. I own a business. I own my audio and entertainment company. And now I'm journeying into creating beats and hopefully TV and sync licensing. And so that the belief that I can be enough to do everything I need to do It was a huge hurdle. Like it was that wall you were just talking about. That wall was called time. Well, are you going to sleep? Are you going to spend time with your family? You got to eat. You got to go to work. You got to go to this job. But I had to figure out I'm strong enough and there's enough in me that I'm going to go through this, over it, under it, around it, whatever it takes to get what I need to get done because I believe in myself. I believe in the mission to create music that impacts people's lives. So the belief was my biggest opposition.
Wow. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. That was very personal. And that's what, I like to bring to the show because people can relate to that,
Yeah.
Some people are very, very afraid, to challenge themselves
Yeah.
and to push beyond, what's in their head,
Mhm.
which, could be totally false. And, there's something cool about that because you can think back years of things that you were really afraid of.
Mhm.
And then, when you think about it, you're like, why was I afraid of that? You know what I mean?
Doesn't even
It
make
was so,
sense.
it doesn't make any sense. And, yeah, belief. Yeah. Basically, King Strap says you're gonna make it with faith, and belief is basically faith in the unseen. So yeah, that
100%.
yes,
That
sir.
that is that is the thing that I base everything that I do on, bro. That comment that you just made, faith. Faith. And my father-in-law it's an acronym to him, not just a word. Faith. For all I trust him. I apply that to my life, man. Because you can walk around doubting yourself all day long. The only result of doubt is doubt. The only result of negative thoughts is negative outcomes. But when you apply the faith, you apply the belief, and you tap into that positive, the only thing you can get from positive is positive, man. You can't get negative from positive. Yeah, it's opposing forces. You can't do it. You
Mm,
can't.
mm.
You can be faced with something negative while being positive, but you cannot personally get a negative outcome from a positive action. That's just my belief. So, yeah, faith is
Yeah,
massive.
yeah, that's like the quiet in the storm, the eye of the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, where you're surrounded by a tornado and you're in the middle of it, it's calm and you're at peace and you have faith
Yeah.
in that storm. Um, it reminds me like this old martial arts film. It was this monk. He was like super talented with fighting, and like his town, or his village was getting raided. This is like Asian anime, like martial art, old school,
I'm
and
with it.
like his village was getting raided, but he was just chilling. He was sitting there meditating while people were getting taken away and stuff like that, and he was like, everything will be okay. So that it reminded me of that scene, what you just said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, let's see. And we're going to church on Sunday Sounds too. Now I
Yeah.
think about it, because it's Sunday Sounds and we're
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
faith.
for sure. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go.
Um, but yeah, this is the Q&A. We got like 5 more minutes. Feel free to drop some questions if you have any type of questions for us. And you mentioned time management. I finally got a time management app. I highly recommend. Um, I used to use like Excel. I would like do a little, plug in times of what I do every day,
Mm-hmm.
and weekly and then monthly and annually. But I found some cool apps where it's a lot easier for me to tap in. And that way my days are structured, where you balance your personal life and your
Right.
businesses. And being that you have several businesses, like what do you do for time management? Is it all in your head, like what I'm going to do this day or this week?
Um,
Or
right now, in my head, sort of. And what I mean by that is what I found works best for me personally, because I know I have so much to do once the day actually starts, is I wake up early. So my shift at my day job starts at 7. I'm usually out of there by 1 or 2, and then I go to my other business in town until we close at 6:30. Then I have, of course, property management that I do for an Airbnb that I do for a couple hours a day. So what I found for me is by the end of the day, I'm spent. Once I'm done doing everything I got to do. So I wake up at 4 a.m. That gives me 3 hours before the world knows I'm up to do what I need to do, whether it's musical, whether it's getting 10 pages in a book, whether like my morning routine is this. I wake up at 4 a.m. I do 20 minutes of jump rope. I take a 10-minute cold shower. I do 10 minutes of breath work, and I read 10 pages in a book. Why? Because when I go out into the world, I want to strengthen myself mentally and physically, prepare myself for what I'm going to go face. So that's my time to jump into my music before my kids are up. They're still knocked out. My wife is not knocked out. She's usually up, but she's doing her morning routine. So before you start fighting fires for everybody else, waking up early gives you the opportunity to dig into what you want to do for you before everyone else needs your attention. So that's what I do. My time management is, you just have to suck it up, because I don't like waking up early. I really don't. But I know if I'm going to get this stuff done, that's the golden hour for me, where nobody else can vie for my attention, because most people are still asleep. I'm up grinding while people are asleep now. So that's me.
Wow, you said so much. That is like gems all day for Sunday Sounds. Y'all need to watch a replay of this. You said so much in that, and my mind was racing because, we can talk about that an entire show. Different things struck me. You don't want to, for those that just heard that, you don't want to overexert yourself. You got to have that balance.
No.
You'll get burned out and you won't be inspired to do anything. So you actually wake up more earlier than me. So I can do that, but
see, here's the thing. For me, one, I was a correction officer for 4 years. So I worked swing shifts at one point. So it was 7 to 3 sometimes, 3 to 11 sometimes, and sometimes it was a month straight of midnights. And then I drove trucks. I was a truck driver for 10 years. All of my truck driver jobs, you had to be at the yard by 5 a.m. or 6 a.m.
Right.
So for me getting up early, it's not a problem. It's just that when I got to the point that I no longer had to wake up that early to get to work, I'm not going to. But then I realized, like I said, with all the business and the jobs and just life in general, by 8, 9 o'clock, I'm looking at my studio like, I really need to. But like mentally, I'm so drained that I'm like, I don't even realize I don't even know what I would create if I sat down right now. I would just sit. So by making that my priority in the morning, by the end of the day, if let's just say I have a good day, I can go back in the studio. But if I don't have the time to go in the evening, I already know I hit it in the morning. So I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
Yeah. And you found that balance.
Yeah, it had to.
Yeah, you made it work. Some people never find that balance,
Right.
and it's good that you shared that because, even on my little scheduling thing that I do, I'm like, I'll make sure just move it to the next hour if I can.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be set grid or whatever, hour by hour, but and everybody, don't beat yourself up,
No.
and also at least get 7 hours. Well, I'm older, so I used to just do like I didn't sleep, man. I was insane. I don't know how I wouldn't sleep for days and just work on music and then realize what I was doing to myself, like an hour of sleep, 2 hours.
Been there.
It was
Been
insane.
there. Well,
You're like,
what I realized, bro, was one, when I was driving trucks, you have to have a certain amount of sleep. Like by law, you have to have a certain amount of sleep. But what I learned was when I got out of it, like you said, so at some point in your age, you can function on little to no sleep. We're just able to do it. But I found for me that if I have to wake up early, because for the longest time I did 4 hours. 4 hours was my sleep pattern. That's just what it was. If I laid in the bed like 4 hours and 10 minutes, 10 minutes, my eyes would pop open and I'm just like, I'm up. It's time to go. Like my body knows. And so now I've gotten myself that I know I got to wake up at 4. I got to hard out at 10 o'clock. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if I'm on a business call. I don't care what's going on. Like my family, we have an established rule. We have hard out at 10 o'clock because 4 a.m. is coming, whether you're going to bed or not. And I did it one night. I said, man, I can make it. I've been doing this now. I can get up at 4 a.m. And I stayed up till like quarter to midnight, like 11:45. I laid down, that clock went off, and I was just sitting there like, I should have just went to bed because I don't want to get up now. It's warm. You know, I'm comfortable. I just like, I'm not ready to start my day. And so once I figured, okay, 10 to 4, that gives me 5 to 6 hours a night. I'm comfortable with that. Like I can function on a full day with that. And believe it or not, the cold showers help. But you know what I mean? Once I locked into that morning routine, like you were saying, you find that, you know, it becomes a balance. Like you stop searching for it and you just settle into that groove of what that balance is. And once you settle, you got to lock into that because with anything, consistency is the key. Consistency is the key to any of that. Whether it's waking up early or working out or just hitting the studio, being consistent at what you're going to do is what will help you develop the discipline to help you be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Every big business you can think of, every big brand, there was tremendous discipline despite all odds, despite what your friends think, despite what some families think. They faced, think about, I don't want to name a bunch of companies, but pretty much every company you can think of, there's a story behind it, behind how, you know, they prevailed and their consistency. Like, and also you got to know your destination. You know, you got to know where you're going with this. You know, you got to know the outcome. You want to do this the rest of your life? You want to make a couple bucks and call it quits, or you want, you know, to build a business and a brand and hire people, you know, and then sell it, whatever vision you have, it's unique to you. And you know, you got to kind of think of where you want to go with this. So that way, you know what steps to make, the consistent steps to make to that destination. Yeah, we touched on so much, man. Was there anything I'm forgetting that you wanted to share? I'll just drop it on you.
Man, I had no specific focus coming into this. I just knew it was going to be great dialogue because you and I have always had great dialogue. So right now I'm just enjoying this. Like it's dialogue and it's just me and the fam. You know what I'm saying? So if we're done, we are. If we're going some more, let's go. I'm with it, man. I'm so open to it right now.
Hey, man, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. And I'm about dialogue too, man, because you know, it just jumped in my head. Dylon, because I said dialogue.
Fire.
But dialogue's important, you know, because like, even like, you know, selling music online, you know, I wish I could call every customer that I had, you know, and just talk. I'm like, yo, what do you want to do with your music? You know, you want to like just be partial successful, or like you want millions, like, and get to know them as a person, you know, because dialogue is very important, you know, especially when you're communicating with your customers. What's well, you said you're getting back into the beat selling online. So any strategies that you're thinking about making? Or you got your eye on, or something you want to try, like on social media or something?
At the moment, no. At the moment, I'm just putting the, you know, the foot on the gas and getting the beats made. Something I read in a article a long time ago that I'll never forget is Kanye West said, thinking about beats doesn't make money. Dreaming about beats doesn't make you any money. The only thing that makes you money with beats is making the beat and putting it out. So right now I'm just about executing on consistently putting out music, because having a strategy with no music is What are you strategizing? You get, again, go back to paralysis analysis. You'll get so caught up in strategizing how you want to execute that you forget to execute at all. And so right now I'm just about executing and building up the catalog so that when I decide, okay, here's the strategy that I want to implement, I can implement it to these 100 beats and not, well, I've got, 7 beats and a strategy. This strategy is going to be grand and I'm going to apply it to this. And it could work. I'm not saying it's not a good idea, but me personally, I would rather execute on building a catalog and then building a strategy because I feel personally, and this is just me, I could be completely wrong. I feel like BeatStars has set something up for us where a lot of the hard work is done. Like, real talk, if you guys are listening to me, like if you haven't caught on yet, I'm telling you, I'm trying to look dead into this camera. I'm telling you, I've been on BeatStars for 5 days. That's it. I opened an account 2 years ago and it stayed an account, and that's the extent of it. I paid for a premium account for 2 years and uploaded nothing. I was strategizing. That's what I'm gonna say. I was strategizing. I had an idea in my head. That's what I was going with. No, for 2 years. I literally went to log in after I was reached out with this opportunity and couldn't get into my account. I was locked out. Finally got in and I said, okay, no more strategizing, no more thinking about, no. Execution. Create the music, then strategize. That's the focus right now for me, because I know that's what works for how I think and how I move. I have to execute.
And what is your release schedule? Like, what are you planning?
If I'm
2 a week?
being realistic, I think 2 a week. I would love to sit out here and be like, yeah, beat a day, baby. That's how I'm gonna do it. But in reality, and I am a self-proclaimed perfectionist, so I will nitpick a beat until the sun comes up. And so I know me that it's probably smarter for me to say 2 to 3 a week is what I'm going to be doing, because anything more than that, and I'm just cranking out stuff to say that I did it, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, yeah. And what days do you plan on releasing? Have you picked the day and time?
Right now, the only day that I definitely know is going to be Sunday. Sunday
Okay.
was going to be because that's well, first of all, that's the one day that I have the most free time. That's one.
Mm.
But there's also just a special connection to me in Sunday, and it goes back to my church roots. That's family time, and even now, coincidentally, on Sunday Sounds. But it's Sunday's a big thing for me. My life in church and my faith, and to release something on Sunday, it's hard to explain, but that's definitely the day in my head that I want to let stuff go.
Yeah, yeah. Not many producers know you can actually schedule release
Yes.
dates on the
Yes.
BeatStars platform, which is awesome.
Yes.
I love that feature. I think it was last month. I finished basically 2 months of beats in advance. I was just in this creative state, and I had everything scheduled
Yeah.
for last month and this month.
Clutch.
No, September, October. Yeah, it was crazy. I didn't do that this month. I usually do it a week in advance or a couple
Right.
days in advance. So
It makes sense.
yeah, because you got time to create, and then there's time to post, and all you got to do is just upload your stuff, and you're good to go.
Right.
Yeah.
And the process, this is for anyone who hasn't been on BeatStars, and I'm not like sitting here trying to promo for them or anything, but because I hadn't actually tried to upload anything, I went into this blind. Like, I binge watched Sunday Sounds for a couple of hours just to kind of get. Hey, I did, brother. I watched actually, it was probably longer than that, because the good average was over an hour, and I watched at least 8 episodes, bro. I was locked. I was locked in. I was like,
almost my entire year.
Yeah.
My whole year.
I'm sitting there like, okay, because I wanted to be prepared, and so I was like, all right, and I got on, the BeatStars YouTube page and was like, okay, how to upload to BeatStars, how to use BeatStars Studio app. Okay, how to do this. Because I didn't know. I knew it all existed because I've been to the events, but I had never applied any of this before this week.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome, man. I'm glad you were able to find everything. That link that I sent you, that's a whole help article section.
Yeah, it was big.
Yeah, let me find that. So that way everyone knows where to go when you're trying to figure things out. It's
Yeah.
help.beatstars.com. And that's like a whole help portal of all the awesome features, and there's a lot of content there, to help you out. And especially with I didn't even mention I did mention it, distribution and publishing. So everyone's in different levels as far as business.
Yeah.
And it can get very confusing when people don't understand certain terms. Publishing, I really don't want to get into it, man.
It's
gonna
a rabbit
get ugly,
hole, bro. It's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it really is. We'll talk on distribution. Distribution is basically, distributing your music to different platforms: Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, all those major platforms. Boomplay out in South Africa, or I think it's most of all of Africa. Boomplay. And I think the other one, anyway, there's 52 different platforms that we distribute to, which is amazing because this is how you get your music out there even further, and gain more fans. And it's so vital for producers, for creatives. Have you considered distribution at all, or are you familiar with it?
Within the last 10 seconds after you say what you just said, yeah, I'm definitely considering it. Because again, for the longest time, bro, I create, I'm a creative. I don't think about the business. And when I got finally focused, I got focused on the execution. But like when you brought up TV sync licensing, I'm like, I never thought of that, but how cool would that be? And why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of doing the homework to find out what avenue I need to take to take that off ramp. You know what I mean? To branch out and have different streams of income coming back in, not just this one thing.
Yeah, for sure, man. You just jump right in, and I don't have all that. I'm still learning myself. I've been in it for a while, but I've learned things along the way. And some people are afraid to make mistakes. Make mistakes.
Make them
hurt yourself. That's how my daughter says, hurt yourself. That's so funny I said that. But basically, don't be afraid to hurt yourself or like fumble,
You have to.
for all my football fans out there. Don't be afraid to like make mistakes with your business, because that's how you learn. Like we were saying earlier, he started DJing almost by a mistake. You see what I'm saying? And he's still doing it.
Yeah.
Like there's no mistakes. You were meant to learn that thing, and it's so important for you to get out of the box and just try different stuff. Distribute your music, learn about publishing, learn about writer share, learn about royalties, PROs, learn about different revenue for your music. You're a business. You make music. Music's everywhere. Don't limit yourself.
Dropping knowledge.
Yeah, man. Let's end it on that.
man.
Yeah,
Dropping
we're like
knowledge.
double overtime, so let me get out of here. Thank
My
you for the
bad.
questions. Yeah. Any last words for everybody? You want to say, shout out your people again and say what's
Hey,
up to
man.
the community?
To anybody viewing this, thank you. BeatStars family, thank you. Cato, Music Entrepreneur Club, DJ Payne, you guys, and DJ Fanatic, you guys are instrumental in who I'm going to be, because you all, the people I just named, have made such informational platforms that getting yourself heard or getting yourself known, if you're not heard or known, it's your fault, because these guys have gone out of their way to create platforms for us to be heard. And it's important that they know that we're not just utilizing their platforms and taking their knowledge and not saying thank you. So I'm personally saying here, live, now, thank you, DJ Fanatic, for the acceleration, because I wouldn't have taken this step otherwise. I would have kept the grandiose vision in my mind, making beats for myself and playing them for my wife and kids that jam out in the living room. But it's not enough. So thank you to all you guys just for creating, for sewing into us, for making this possible for us to do. We wouldn't do it otherwise. You know, the industry, which is another rabbit hole I'm not going to go down, it's set up in a way, but these things are in place for us to be able to be successful doing what we love. So thank you all so much. Thank you for having me. I had a blast.
It's a great pleasure, man. You're more than welcome, and we're glad that you're a part of the show. We're glad that you decided to take that step and keep pushing forward with your music, and use that account that you had,
Yeah.
and also push through the opposition that you faced with your software and the hardware and stuff. And it's all about entrepreneurship. I think this year alone, if y'all don't know, it's in the millions. Our users were able to make money to feed their families and have a livelihood making music. And I think our users made over, I think it was this year or the last 2 years, over $50 million. Just to put it in a small perspective, $50 million across the platform for all, for everyone to live doing what they love doing, and also serving artists with their dreams as well. Don't forget that, because you have a dream as being a producer, they also have a dream of being an artist, but we're all
100%.
creatives and we got to work together, business wise and creatively. So anyway, yeah, I can go on another tangent, man. But yeah, it's an honor having you here, man.
Yeah.
Awesome show.
Thank
You
you.
dropped so many gems. Thank you for sharing, your story, your upbringing, your knowledge and experience with the audience. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man.
And thank y'all for being here live and dropping links and stuff. I mean, comments and stuff. And the replay actually goes live right after I hit this end button, and y'all can rewatch it at your leisure. Man, I think I have one more show left for this year. Have an awesome Black Friday sale for all the producers out there, man. I'm gonna shout y'all out. King Strap says, congratulations, keep up the good work. Yeah, good work. And yeah, shout out to y'all, man. Thank y'all for being here and being a part of the community. Hang on a second, bro. I'm gonna hit the end button. I'll catch y'all next time. I'm not sure what the date is, but I'll see y'all next month. I'll have an awesome Black Friday sale. Make sure you set up your coupon codes, set up your bulk deals, set up your pricing right, do all that, get your content up and your ads and stuff, get all that straight, because this is a big time for producers this year. Trust me, I know. Because you got to check your stats and stuff, you know what I mean? So anyway, let me hit this end button right quick. Catch y'all next time. Peace.